What's up, everybody? College Lefty Gaming, and in this video I have for you guys kind of a why Jackie Robinson is underrated video, as well as the Edwin Diaz debut. I hope you guys enjoy. So to start this video off, it's going to be kind of a ranked seasons highlights. This opponent has a great team. He's got 3 of the finest cards, so you know he has that Josh Hader in his bullpen as well. He's got a really good team. He's got a creative player that looks like a catcher, 85 overall, because all those other positions or all those other players don't play catcher. So that's kind of what I realized from his team. But in this video, I kind of wanted to focus on why I think Jackie Robinson's really underrated in this game. That's not what this first gameplay is going to be focused on. It's going to be more focused in the second game. But I just kind of showed an example of why I think that, and as well as why I think he's more valuable than some other Immortals in this one. I do have all the hitter Immortals, and I've used them all. I've gotten a pretty good sample size with all of them. And I know everybody plays the game differently, and I know everybody has different preferences when they are playing. But I think as far as least valuable Immortal, I think that goes to George Brett, just because he plays third base. He doesn't have as much power as some of the other Immortals do. Third base is a position where there are a lot of diamonds and a lot of guys that do have a lot of power. I like Pujols, Chipper Jones. I mean, Pujols doesn't have a primary position of third, but that's where I have him now. I have Pujols playing third base. I've had him playing there for a while now, since I did get Ted Williams and Trout. Now that all the Immortals are out, or all the Immortals I think are going to be released, I kind of just wanted to talk a little bit about this. But I think Jackie Robinson's more valuable than George Brett, just because he does have the speed. He's got a little bit better fielding. He plays similar positions. He just doesn't have shortstop as a position, but he plays similar positions as George Brett. And I don't know. Even though I hit better with lefties, and I did do well with George Brett, I just think he's the least valuable because he doesn't have the speed. He has just about the same speed as Cal Ripken Jr. He's got a little bit less power. I mean, right around the same power as Cal Ripken, but less versus lefties. So I would say Cal Ripken, give the edge to him. I would even put Jackie Robinson ahead of Cal Ripken, just because I feel that Chipper Jones plays shortstop really well in this game. Your creative player plays shortstop really well, even as a second baseman. Just kind of going over analysis here, I'm showing you guys exactly why. I didn't get anything going in the first inning, but I got a base hit with Pujols, pinch run, Jackie Robinson. I don't even start Jackie Robinson, but he's so lethal off the bench, because the positions that he does play are my weakest defensive positions. They're my slowest players, and he just brings a whole nother aspect to the game, especially because I have that Ryan Sandberg card to go along with it, and Sandberg plays second and third base. If any time in the game I take out Ted Williams in left field for Jackie, I can move them around. Because Jackie also plays first base and I have Babe Ruth, I can move Babe Ruth out to left field. I can move Jackie to first, second, third, and move those guys around. Put Pujols at first, move Chipper Jones to third base, put my creative player that plays second at shortstop, bring in Sandberg later on in the game if I need somebody who has power. Just the versatility that Jackie Robinson brings here. I mean, you guys see the speed. He has a 95 speed. He's batting 4 in the 4 spot now, because I brought him in for Pujols, and Pujols is my 4 hitter. But there I'm able to get a base hit. And that 95 speed, if I got him on base twice, that could be 4 stolen bases. That's exactly what I'm looking to do in this situation. Nolan Ryan on the mound, slide step fastball. He gets a perfect jump, doesn't get the hook slide, just a feet first slide. You can't really throw him out. He's like Billy Hamilton out there with good contact. I don't know, every time I go up against Jackie Robinson, he's a force to be reckoned with. The opponent always does well against me, whether that's hitting a home run or just getting on base and stealing bases. I don't know. I just feel that not many people use him, but that's because they want to use guys that have power, hit home runs and stuff like that, and that's great and everything. That works out well too. But this game before this, I had lost on a 3-run home run, on a come from behind 3-run home run, and I just felt like I wasn't able to maximize all the runs I could have scored in that game. If I would have been a little bit more aggressive from the beginning, I would have maybe been able to win that one. In this one, I was trying to get those points back very quickly. So I was trying to use all the tools that I have on my team, all the time and effort that I put in grinding for this team. I was trying to use all the players. Sometimes I go a full game and I have 3 or 4 guys left on the bench and I only use 1 bench player. And sometimes I feel like I left some runs on the table. Could have been a little bit more aggressive, put the pressure on the opponent. So that's what I focused on in this one. And the opponent just had an error, misplayed the ball. Even with 2 outs, he didn't want to finish that one off. But in this next video, in this next gameplay, we're gonna be focusing on Edwin Diaz and his debut. I'm going up against a subscriber. This is a friendly game with the rest are ranked seasons games. This is a friendly game, so I'm gonna be focusing a little bit more on this one. I just kind of wanted to just focus the first part of that video, or this video, on that subject of the Immortals, just because we're getting later on in the season. I don't know how many more Immortals are going to be released, if any at all. But to continue a little bit more about what I was saying is, I think Yogi Berra is also one of the least valuable Immortals. Even though I do think he's very good, he's still a 99. He has more power than that George Brett versus righties. He's a lefty bat, has a little bit different swing than George Brett, has a 2-handed swing. Some people prefer that rather than the one-handed swing, although the one-handed swing is much better this year. So there's different things to keep in mind as we get a weird play out here. The ball bounced about 100 feet from the wall there, and it looked like it was coming down at a different angle, and it just, I don't know, took a trampoline effect off the wall on a ball that was coming down and bounced and immediately hit the ground. I don't know, it just didn't look right. That would never happen. But the opponent responds with another home run. But anyway, I want to get back on track. I think that just because he plays catcher, Yogi Berra, he's a little bit more valuable than George Brett. I would put Yogi Berra at second and then Cal Ripken at third if we were going from least to best. Griffey and Trout are at the top of the list. And Babe Ruth is right there, as well as Pujols, Chipper Jones. I would rank those guys at the top, obviously. But that's kind of my rankings of the Immortals. Ted Williams is right up there. He plays amazing defense. He's got the 70 fielding. That's like Stan Musial out there. Stan Musial can play center field, no problem. Ted Williams, I feel like he could play center field, maybe with a little bit more of a problem. I don't know why. I just have that feeling, just because of maybe the reaction is a little bit lower. I'd have to look at the stats a little bit more. I'm just going off of because the opponent does have Stan Musial in center field. I was kind of thinking, Ted Williams might actually be all right out there. Here on this play, I actually did press R1. I don't know if that made a difference on that catch, but it looked like Griffey was just going to either look at the ball or field it off the wall or either take it off the back of the head. But me pressing R1, maybe that made him get that animation of extending his arm up and catching that baseball. I'm not sure on that one, honestly. I wish I could tell you. I just don't know. That's what I pressed, though. I don't know if it even registered that I pressed that or he got the animation before I pressed it. That's what I don't know. So that's why I'm saying I wish I could tell you, but it is what it is. Stan Musial, pinch hit for the pitcher on a curved ball after Yogi Berra got a base hit up the middle to extend the inning. It's just huge to get the power on the bench. I have that left-handed bat. He's my only lefty bat if I do start Yogi Berra, because I have Mike Piazza, Vlad, Jackie Robinson, Sandberg, and then Stan Musial on the bench. So that's kind of my bench. I could also play Cal Ripken Jr. or George Brett, but those guys aren't on the squad right now. I'm looking to try out that Bryce Harper that I have. I still haven't tried him out. And I was thinking about trying him out in this one, but I wanted to focus on Edwin Diaz as he is going to come in this next inning. I did pitch a few innings with him in this one, I believe. Yep, here he is in the 6th inning. So with 4 innings remaining, I went to Edwin Diaz. I started a first pitch changeup outside, and Schwarber, the Immortal, almost hits it out. That was a really good pitch. The opponent was just missing the ball. He said he hadn't played in a little bit. He took a little bit of a break, which definitely affects my hitting when I do that. So maybe if he was playing this game every day or practice a little bit before he played. I know when we played, he had just got back home from doing something. So, I mean, he just got on the game, and we immediately hopped into a friendly game. So, if he probably would have took some batting practice or something like that, he would have been able to hit a little bit better. Maybe he was just a little bit too aggressive in this one. But I don't want to critique his gameplay too much. I know he's a good player. He's a level 100 diamond. And I was nervous to pitch to him. I felt like because he was swinging and making good contact with even some pitches out of the zone, I felt like he was tough to pitch to. A great player. And I want to definitely get a rematch in. I feel like I've played him once before this, and he gave me a run for my money. It was a closer game than this one. But it is 8-1. Edwin Diaz isn't pitching late in this game. I kind of focused on more individual pitches on Edwin Diaz than I did with Bob Feller. I didn't show too much of Bob Feller pitching just because this gameplay, I wanted to focus more on what I was talking about earlier, Jackie Robinson, a few of the other Immortals, and then I did get this Finest Player. This was out of my guaranteed pack. If you guys did not check out the previous video, I was able to get this, and that's because I did pre-order the MLB 19 the show. I had to kind of pay for the mission. I didn't do it because I wanted to get this Finest pack. I did it because I wanted to get the next year's game anyway. But I kind of was forced to pay for the program to be complete because I did not finish one of the limited time missions that expired already. But that was my plan anyway. I was planning on pre-ordering the game. Once I saw that mission came out, I was like, alright, I don't have to do some of these missions for November, which is okay too. But I also haven't played any BR games. I have not done any of the defeat MLB teams of the 30. I don't plan on doing that, but I do plan on playing some BR, and I'll possibly get that 50 BR wins mission done. I don't know how long it will take me to do that. Personally, I like playing ranked seasons more, or friendly games, or playing viewers, just because I like the 9-inning aspect of the game. Anytime I play a shortened game, for whatever reason, I could do it 100 times, even in the event. Whenever I play it, my stamina, it messes me up playing the shortened games. Managing the game, I'm not as good at managing the game in shortened games, and that's not me making an excuse. I know that going into it, and sometimes I feel like I might lose some games because of that, but at the same time, I had my chances in those games to win. So I do like playing BR and events and stuff like that. I prefer events because I can build my own team and kind of manage it a little bit better than BR, because it's a little bit lucky when I am selecting my players. But here I wanted to show you guys, before I get too off track, I want to show you guys that Edwin Diaz, 26 pitches in the 4th inning of work, and he was in the yellow stamina, but he was still able to dot up most of his pitches. I think he does have a lot of control and maxed out break on all 3 of his pitches. He only does have 3 pitches, so that's the one thing that I would say his weakness is, and his motion isn't that deceptive, but he does have good stuff. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, and let me know what you guys think about my Immortal rankings or what I said about those guys, if you agree or disagree, and why. Peace out.